This week, tensions reignited between Chicago Public Schools and the teachers union after the district announced more than 400 new layoffs. Mayor Lightfoot says it was part of an annual staff adjustment, but the teachers union says the layoffs were retaliatory, disproportionately impacting neighborhoods underserved during the pandemic. Joining me now to discuss all of this, President of the Chicago Teachers Union, Jesse Sharkey. Jesse, good to see you again. It's been a while.
Hey, Paul, thanks for having me on.
So one of the things that triggered my desire to talk to you is you wrote an op-ed that appeared in the Chicago Sun-Times. I want to pull that apart a little bit with you in terms of some of the points that you made. Before I get there, I just want to get your reaction to the elected school board debacle. We hear all, but I shouldn't say that, but the decisions being made. We heard, Springfield speaks to it. The mayor not happy with it. What is the teachers union view on this?
I don't think we view it as a debacle. I think we view that having democracy for an elected school board, it'll be several years coming, but that's a historic accomplishment. It's something which every other district in the state has, and obviously schools are a critical institution in our city, and the people deserve a voice in deciding how they're run.
Yeah, bad word choice on my part. I was simply referring to the dissension between the mayor and the legislature about that. And just final one point on that, if this means eventually that people are voting for their school board members, but don't you think it becomes a little bit like voting for judges? People don't really know who they're voting for. They don't really know the candidates, and then maybe we're not quite sure who ends up on the school board.
What we're hoping is that having small enough representative districts that people who are running for the board can walk their district and can practice some retail politics, and that'll help us get more detailed conversations about the kinds of school policy that really affect people in the city and certainly affect people with kids in public schools. So that's what we're hoping, and obviously we're going to have to see how it plays out. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have some trepidation about it, but I think this whole thing has been a step in the right direction at long last.
All right, so let me turn to the op-ed that you wrote and some of the points that you made there. You wrote that the pandemic has really exacerbated the fractured relationship between CPS and working class families of color, and there's a need to rebuild trust. So how do we do that?
Well, I think we start by making sure resources are getting to those communities. We're talking about groups of people who were devastated by the pandemic, where the pandemic hit disproportionately hard because, you had people in crowded multi-generational housing, working service sector jobs, and didn't have very good access to healthcare to begin with. And that's who sends their kids to public school in Chicago. Those communities are overwhelmingly Black and Latinx. And that's who voted with their feet and did not send their kids back to school in the second half of this year. And so as we look ahead to the fall, we need to make sure that we're getting resources to those communities to send the signal that it's safe to come back into the buildings.
Obviously, part of that safety is the vaccination effort. One of the points you make in the op-ed as well, it's not been sufficient so far. At this point, I know people are going to people's homes, right? We'll vaccinate you right in your home if we have to. So how is it that you believe we can get this accomplished and get everybody vaccinated that needs to be vaccinated for the return to school in August?
Yeah, what I think needs to happen is that we need to have a clear goal coming out of the Chicago Public Schools and take the 40,000 or so employees for CPS and use those folks to actually set goals and have that institution, that governmental institution, help deliver vaccine. And that's how we vaccinated our population against polio in the late 1950s and early 1960s. And there have been efforts at schools. The CTU has been involved in some, and so have many CPS schools. But this should not be a one-off individual effort. We should be calling through our rosters of students. We should be house visiting the students and parents that we can get in touch with. We should be using schools which are spread out through the neighborhoods that we need to impact as vaccination sites. People know and trust their school. And so we're hitting way underneath our weight. We should be accomplishing a lot more with vaccine, and I think we can if we set a goal and use the institution properly.
No, you're not happy with the layoff of 443 teachers and staff. You heard in the lead-in the mayor's position on it. There is $2 billion of federal funding coming in regarding COVID. Is it also your sense that these layoffs are not happening in a fair way? Can you accept the layoffs, but they have to be handled differently?
Well, two parts. First of all, we're partly unhappy about these layoffs because it sends precisely the wrong message. And the Americans say, well, this is routine, it happens all the time. Well, it's wrong that CPS should be laying off people in the hundreds every year, and because they do it often doesn't make it right. But it's especially wrong in the context where we need to send a signal to the public, like I said before, that there are resources available and that we're going to look after people's well-being in the context of what's really been a traumatic experience. The second part of your question had to do with where those layoffs are concentrated. The two highest zip codes of layoffs in the city are North and South Lawndale, which are also among the hardest hit neighborhoods in the city for COVID. And so, yeah, we think the layoffs should be reversed as a first step. It also happens that many of the people being targeted are union activists. So we have real problems about that as well.
I just want to get your reaction while we have a moment on the Jamari Dent situation. A young boy who killed himself, was on a ventilator and such for a long time. He passed away last week. We haven't heard from the teachers union speak to this. He'd been bullied in school. It led to this action. Give me some reaction on behalf of the teachers union if you can.
It's a tragic situation. As a parent, as an educator, as a person who suffered some abuse as a kid, I will tell you that what we do as educators and as adults who work with children is do everything in our power to protect them from harm. And I think that often we do that in difficult circumstances. Not enough resources, not enough staff. And when a kid is bullied and tries to take their own life and then ultimately passes, that's a failure on the part of the adults that are part of the school system. And it's a tragedy and it saddens me deeply.
Okay, well, thank you for those words. It's good to get something on the record from CTU, and I appreciate it. Jesse Sharkey, president of the Chicago Teachers Union, thanks for your time this morning. Have a good Sunday, my friend.
Thank you.
All right.